So, welcome to H2K Infosys session. So, let me take 5 minutes of your time to say something about H2K Infosys. Okay? So, basically, H2K Infosys is having its headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, in United States, and we are providing 100% job-oriented training, which is a instructor-led face-to-face training. It's a true online training, guys, and we would be covering almost all the latest concepts that were required and which is going right now in the market. So whenever a new thing comes into the market, even we would be updating our course content on a regular basis, and we will include those topics along. So anyone who has registered with H2K Infosys has lifetime access to all the videos and recordings and the sessions, and they will be able to get it at any moment of time once after the registration. So that's one of the real advantage we have when compared to many other things as well. And apart from that, H2K Infosys provides real-time project work to gain hands-on experiences on the concepts or topics that we are going to discuss in order to make you people very strong on the things. Apart from that, we will be providing you a test lab sessions to practice, and at the end of the course, you will be eligible to get mock interviews and you can participate in group discussions. And the one of the major thing that we will be covering is we will be helping you in resume preparation and resume review. And H2K Infosys have a lot many relationships with almost top MNCs in the world, and we will be referring you to those companies whenever we have a requirement on the concepts or topics that anyone is going to register. So, as discussed, H2K Infosys provides IT trainings with real-time project work. It's not only for corporates as well as the individuals also, and it plays a major role in almost all the areas such as software design, development, QA, automation and manual testing and maintenance also. So these are few important instructions that everyone should follow while attending these online classes, such that it will be much more comfortable with everyone in order to understand things. The only thing that I wanted to mention is please use audio headset or mic in order to have a better audio clarity, and please mute yourselves whenever you don't have anything to speak out. Okay, such that it will not create any disturbance to other guys also. So the agenda of today is, as this is a demo cum introduction session, let me take some of your time in order to introduce about big data, and after that I will be talking sometime about use cases and challenges of big data and what is Hadoop also. Okay, so we all know about, there is a lot of terminology and hype around this buzzword called as big data and also Hadoop, right? So let's try to understand even the differences between these two terms as well. So my objective is just to help you understand how these skills are going to help us in the next 5 to 10 years. So just to recap everything, big data is the amount of data that is beyond the storage and processing capabilities of a single physical machine. So let's try to understand what exactly is data. Okay, then we can talk about big data. So a data is nothing but which can be stored on a single machine in a readable format. So suppose if we take some Word document or any notepad and save some data on it and close it, even after some time I will be able to open it, and this particular data will be stored on my machine itself, right? But when it comes to big data, it is amount of data that cannot be stored on a single machine. Okay, so in order to hold this data, I need multiple machines. So internally there should be some structure that needs to be followed such that all the machines can talk to each other and club the data and give it to the end user. So suppose maybe I'm talking about some 10 terabytes of data. Okay. So at any worst case or in the best case, I will not be able to store this huge amount of data on a single machine. So there is no hard disk that's available which can store 10 terabytes of data on a single machine, right? So there should be some sophisticated machines or systems such that all these systems can talk together and it will act as a one single system, and the end user can see this huge amount of data as a one single file, or maybe it's coming through one single system. That is what on a very high level big data is about. So we have few characteristics of big data. Okay. So three major characteristics are volume, variety, and then velocity. So let us try to understand what are these three things about. Okay, volume. So there are different areas in the real world where we are generating this huge volume of data. So I hope everyone is quite aware of our social networking sites, right? So let's take a Facebook, which is a very popular social networking site. So if we try to analyze the Facebook, I mean the amount of quantity or the amount of volume that Facebook is generating, Facebook, it is alone generating 10 terabytes of data, right? Just imagine it is generating 10 terabytes of data every second in the huge world comparatively. So if we take one day data, there will be huge amount of data or huge volume of data that is generated by Facebook alone. Even not only Facebook, apart from this, we have Google Plus, LinkedIn, or maybe Twitter, etc. I hope these are, I mean, everyone is aware of these things, right? So Google Plus, LinkedIn maintains all the professional information of everyone who is studying it. Okay, and Twitter, based on it, we can give multiple comments on different things, and so many conversations will be going on in this Twitter website. So all these things, I mean, all the social networking websites are generating this huge volume of data, which are in terabytes. Earlier, in the sense, long back when we doesn't have all these kinds of systems, the amount of data that we have generated was in gigabytes. Okay, this is a long back story. But later on, as people started thinking about outside the box, the amount of data has grown to terabytes. So these days even we are generating terabytes of data in almost all the areas, not only in social networking sites, maybe in finance industry or banking industry or maybe mobile networking industry, many other places. Almost everyone is generating, I mean in the sense all the areas we are generating this terabytes of data, and in few of the areas we are generating petabytes of data as well. And definitely in the near future, it's not even very far, maybe in 1 or 2 years, we would be generating data in zettabytes also. So the problem here is the amount of data that we are generating day by day is huge, and the percentage of details that we can store is becoming low. So if we try to draw a graph on these two things, so the data is increasing day by day in this way, and the percentage of details that we were able to store is going in this way. So this is data increasing information, and this arrow talks about percentage of details that was stored. So in between there is lot of gap, right? If you observe, we are losing a lot of valuable information. So that's the reason people are coming up with different technologies slowly getting generated in order to cover this loss. So when it comes to the areas where we are generating this huge volume, the examples would be like social networking, banking industry, finance, medical industry, mobile devices, and also gaming industry. So these are few samples that I have mentioned here. It's not that only these are the cases. There are hundreds and thousands of systems and industries where we are generating this huge amount of data. So the challenge here is how to hold this huge volume of data. So another characteristic is variety. So now the variety is also coming into picture, in the sense what kind of data that we are generating and how to store each variety of data. It's not the same case with all kinds of data, right? So when we try to categorize the varieties of data, three major varieties are structure, the second one is semi-structured, and third one is unstructured data. Okay, so what is structured data? So any data that is stored in a particular format is called as structured data. In the sense, maybe your Word document or Excel file which contains a format such as comma separated or pipe separated or maybe space separated for each of the word. So which can be stored and maintained in a readable format is called as structured. So maybe your user profile data in RDBMS. So we all are very much familiar about RDBMS, right? So it stores the data in rows and columns format, and it maintains few relationships between all the tables. Maybe it will have primary key, foreign key, and from table to table it will have referential integrity constraints. Every table will follow ACID properties, etc., etc. So many things. I mean, we are not even bothered about those rules, but we are just trying to understand what kind of information would be called as structured data. Or maybe you purchase 10 things from Amazon. So all this will be stored in the form of structured data. Your loan records and repayment details stored in RDBMS. So all these kinds of use cases, the data where we are going to generate will become under structured data. So then what is unstructured data or semi-structured data? right? Semi-structured. So all kinds of blogs and emails would be coming under this semi-structured data. Suppose you have visited Amazon website and browsed some 500 web pages. So this will be stored in the form of log files. So a log file is nothing but a semi-structured file. So it is a file and we can apply multiple analysis on this in order to get some kind of information. Okay. So log files, blogs, emails. Suppose if you take emails, maybe you might be following a format or you don't want to wish anyone or give your regards at the end. You just wanted to go give only the information. So it's all up to the individual how he wanted to write an email. So this kind of emails will not contain some particular format. Those kind of things will come under semi-structured data. So the last one is unstructured data. So what is unstructured data? Maybe in the volume examples we have discussed about medical industry, right? So if you try to understand this medical industry, lot of patient data will be maintained in this medical industry. So a patient data might be in any form. It might be the just medicines list that he is going to use, or maybe the x-rays of a particular patient, or maybe few other videos of his functionality in his system, or it might be in any way, right? So all kind of unstructured data will be in audios or videos, images, pictures, etc. will come under this unstructured data. So it's not only in the healthcare industry, it might be in the astronomy industries or those areas. So if you take astronomy, they would be taking the pictures of night sky for every millisecond. So just imagine how many pictures will be generated per day and how much volume of data is being generated and how we can store that data. Suppose if we go and ask an astronomer about the moving of our earth in the last 30 days, just imagine how much analysis he has to perform on that huge amount of data. So these are few major characteristics of big data, and these three together were called as 3 V's of big data, because a volume, a variety and a velocity. All these three characteristics were called as 3 V's of big data. So the velocity. So whatever the industries or healthcare centers we had discussed till now, all this huge volume of data is again coming with great velocity. As we have discussed, if we take this astronomy or maybe vehicle GPS traces or sensor networks or maybe even mission logs. So if you try to understand the mission logs, every second whatever information that we are going to do, it will be stored somewhere in the form of mission logs, right? So there will be huge amount of data generated with great velocity. So that's the point of getting up or learning a new technology which will hold all these three characteristics. Okay. So anytime if you are in a doubt of whether to use big data or not, just use this 3V mantra. Okay. So maybe even whatever the data warehouses that were available as of today, they can hold good amount of data but not very huge amount of data. suppose if there is some 10 petabytes of data, realistically a data warehouse cannot be handle this huge amount of data. But let's say, or let's imagine that, okay, I have a data warehouse with me which can hold even this 10 petabytes of data. But one of the advantage of getting into Hadoop or big data is big data implementation will always be faster in all kind of other implementations, because here distribution is the key. Okay, so we may fire some 100 processes that will run in parallel, so that any day this kind of system will always be faster when compared to your data warehouses or maybe your traditional databases as well. Okay, guys, anything that you wanted to mention before I step into the next one? Okay, that's fine. Anyways, I will be giving you the last 10 to 15 minutes in order to handle any of your questions. So just keep in mind whatever concerns you have or questions you have. Okay, we can discuss all these things at the end. So this is something about big data. Okay, seems to be very good. We have this big data. What we will do with this? So anytime if we have something with us, the first question that will raise into our mind is what we have to do with it. So that answer is very simple, just analyze. But the painful thing is, what's the value in taking pain of analyzing this huge amount of data? So in your previous example, you said that there was 10 petabytes of data, and it might be in any form. It might be a log information or something else. So what is that? What is that I'm going to get if I analyze this 10 petabytes of data or maybe 20 petabytes of data? So the answer is, it's in this huge heap of data, the golden nuggets of vital information stay. Analyzing this data can give business an edge over the competitors and help them serving the user in a more personalized manner. So let us take an example in order to understand that. Okay. Suppose I have a requirement like how many persons in which age group has ordered iPhone from Amazon, and let me know about the customer satisfaction. Okay, suppose one day your manager came to you and he asked like, okay, seems that we have so many clicks on our website Amazon. Just give me an analysis like how many persons have ordered iPhone from the past 30 days and bifurcate them by age group, and also let me know how was the customer satisfaction based on the feedbacks. So your manager has given this assignment to you. So as an employee, you have to think in lot many ways. There might be different cases first of all. Let's take a sample user, okay? So first of all, one user came and visited to your website and he tried ordering it and he failed in order to order. Maybe the web servers were very busy, or maybe he was not able to track down the pages and he was not able to order it properly. So the first way is tried once to order, but he failed. It might be with any other reasons also. Okay. So let's take another case. So now second user came into picture. The path was good, but delivery is really bad. So he was able to log in into the Amazon website and he was able to order the iPhone. But the delivery date, what we have mentioned, they were not able to reach. Suppose they mentioned that maybe by August 15th you will get your iPhone. But till 17th, that person haven't get the iPhone delivered to his home. So the second case is ordering path was good, but delivery is really, really bad. And the third one is this poor guy, he was not even able to order it, but after trying multiple times, finally he was able to order, but still the delivery is really bad. So he was an unlucky guy in both the cases. So what he will do? First of all, one guy got frustrated and he went to Twitter and he posted some information. Okay. He's saying that, okay guys, friends, I have ordered iPhone in Amazon website. Seems that they were not performing well. I got it very late and even the whole path was very bad. I was not able to track down in order to order the information. So he will just give his comment in Twitter so that everybody, all his friends will be able to see and they will take care of it. So, in spite, Twitter is no way related to Amazon. Some comments were posted here. So he haven't given any feedback to Amazon. He just went to Twitter and he said that okay, the delivery was very bad. So as a end user from my end, in the sense as a developer, even I have to bother about this Twitter information in order to get the customer satisfaction. Even though Twitter is nowhere related with Amazon, I have to get this information in order to get the customer satisfaction details. Okay, fine. I got the Twitter logs and seems that there were lot many comments on Amazon. But during analysis, it's my responsibility that I have to check whether this particular guy has given the real comment or it's just a fake, right? Few people might not be even liking Amazon due to various cases, and on a fly they might give any other comments also. So as an analyzer, I have to make sure that whether this comment is apt or correct or not. So for that, I have to get all the log informations in order to see whether this particular guy is a registered user of Amazon and did he really tried about it. So I need to get all the information as well, right? So for that, again I have to get their logs also. So there are many multiple inputs that I have to consider in order to do some analysis, even though they were no way strictly related with my requirement. So here Twitter is not related with Amazon and even the user logs are not related with Amazon. But still, as an analyzer, I have to analyze all these things and get the required correct information, leaving apart all the other stuff in order to do my analysis. So first of all, I would be cleansing all the Twitter data and log data, and finally I would be giving this huge input file to my Hadoop system in order to perform any analysis. Okay, and then maybe at the end finally I will give it to some OLAP systems or any other systems in order to generate any reports. So this is another picture. We are not even bothered about it. Maybe our OLAP systems to perform or generate any reports. So this is how actually uh, things will happen in real world, and that's where Hadoop will come into picture, because there will be huge amount of data that needs to be analyzed, and finally it might be given as an input to your data warehouses. So that's what this slide talks about. Okay. So apart from this, let's try to understand few differences between the SQL as well as our Hadoop also, so that it will be very much understandable going forward. First thing that we have to know about the differences between SQL and Hadoop is not at all a licensing software. So even myself can go to the Apache Mirrors and download Hadoop and install it. But when it comes to RDBMS or any other traditional databases, you need to have some licenses in order to get installed on your machine, and that's where company have to pay billions of dollars in order to get it. So the second point is scalability. Okay, in Hadoop, as we discussed, we will have multiple machines that are going to act together, and these machines can be of commodity hardware. So when I say or use the term commodity hardware, it is nothing but a normal machine which doesn't have some good features. In the sense, maybe even my machine can be used in my Hadoop cluster, which is having a configuration of uh, 5 GB RAM and 1 terabyte of hard disk, something like that. So some normal configuration system can also be used in my Hadoop cluster. But whereas in my traditional databases or in SQL, I have to use good and sophisticated machines in order to hold the data. And the next one is, in SQL, I need to follow so many rules in order to hold the data. In the sense, I can make like SQL can be termed as right. In the sense, suppose imagine that I have two tables, table A and table B. And if at all I want to copy the information from table A to table B, few of the prerequisites are table B should contain the same structure of table A in order to copy. And the second point is, even the table B should have the same data types of table A in order to hold the data. Suppose table A contains employee information of user ID and his designation. So the user ID might be in some string format, and again the designation might be in string format. When I am copying that information to table B, even table B should also maintain the same structure with the same data type. Here if I have integer and character, I may not be able to hold the same data. Some information might be corrupted, or maybe some information I might be left over. Something might happen. And another one is, I have to maintain some information, in the sense relation between these two tables in order to copy the data. So there is some rigid model applied in order to perform any of the operations on your traditional databases like SQL or maybe Oracle or some other system. Okay? But when it comes to Hadoop, it is schema on read. In the sense, Hadoop holds raw data. We can just copy the raw data even without checking for the compatibilities. So whatever the information might be, it might be structured, unstructured or semi-structured, I will be just keeping it as a raw data on my Hadoop system, and we will be applying rules to the code itself. We will apply all the above rules to the code in order to or else let me make it. While reading the data itself. So while writing the data, I don't do it anything. I will just dump the whole huge amount of data into my Hadoop systems. But while doing some analysis or while reading it, I will be applying all the rules in order to check whatever we have mentioned in SQL in order to perform our analysis. So that's one of the major difference. And another difference is replication. So this is a new term for today, right? So a replication is nothing but maintaining the same amount of data in multiple systems. So suppose I have table A information on machine A. In Hadoop, we have a built-in framework which maintains a replication factor. In the sense, the table A information which is stored on machine A will be repeated in few other machines also. So machine B and machine C will also hold this table A information only. So there are few advantages of having this replication, but right now I don't want to get in deeper about this concept. I will just mentioning you what this is about and how it is different with SQL. Maybe tomorrow or maybe in the day after tomorrow sessions we can discuss about these things once we enter into the ecosystems. Okay. But in SQL we don't have this information. So if one of the table goes wrong, in the sense one of the information goes wrong, everything is on loss and we will not be able to get that information. So there is no way to get that information. So this is another difference between SQL and Hadoop. Apart from this, there are even multiple situations where even Hadoop is playing some good role or Hadoop is having some good advantages between your traditional databases to Hadoop. So, okay, seems that it's more than enough for today. Guys, any questions? It's now it is your time. Just let me know if you have anything in your with. Yeah, please type it on the chat window or maybe you can unmute yourselves and go ahead. Okay? Oh, sure. Okay. So, okay, I'm having the introduction at the end of the session. That's fine. So, myself is Raji and I'm having 9 years of experience and I have been working on Hadoop from the past 3 years. Okay. Guys, are you able to unmute yourselves? Or if that's not the case, please ping me now so that I will try to unmute you. So, okay, 1 second guys. No, even I am not seeing this option. 1 second. Guys, please maintain silence at your end if you don't have access. Okay, I'm unmuting everyone. Oops. So there will be a lot of disturbance, guys. So please try to understand because I'm unmuting everyone. So unless and until you don't have any questions, please mute on yourselves. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Who is speaking?
I have disturbed the phone.
Guys, please. Uh, Hold on 1 second. There is a lot of disturbance and echoes coming over. So please maintain silence if you don't have any question. Okay, go ahead. Someone was asking something. Yes, I already informed. But guys, please mute yourselves or else I will mute you all and you have to type it on the chat window. There is no other go.
I have a question. How does Hadoop data break down?
No,
What
it's
if
not that.
one
Guys,
set of
I'm muting everyone. Please type it on the chat window for any of the questions. There is a lot of disturbance coming over. Hello. Guys, you are able to hear me, right? Okay, let me go through the questions. I need material for reading. Yeah, once you are registered, we will be sharing you lot much of material so that you can go through. You will have all the PPTs, textbooks, materials, interview questions, and a lot more. Okay, so no worries about it. Guys, type it in your chat window, not on the questions. Are you able to see my screen at least? I mean, it is open here. And Smita, can you just let me know from which background you are from? Yes, of course. Hadoop is one of the best technology for BAs as well. It is meant to be for BAs actually. Because in Hadoop, really, exactly. I mean, we have developers and admins and so many people also, but few of the ecosystems in Hadoop were actually developed only for BAs. Because a BA might not be knowing or having a IT background and they will not be able to uh, write big programs in Hadoop. So that's the reason they have come up with is exactly data scientists, BAs, everyone. Yeah, that's the reason they have come up with few kind of ecosystems such as Pig and Hive, because those kind of languages will have kind of SQL statements which will abstract all your programs that needs to be written in actual Java or maybe any other language also. Guys, basically Hadoop is a platform independent language. So you can write your Hadoop programs or perform your analysis in maybe C++, Java, Python, Perl or any other language also. So it is language independent. Guys, I had typed in the chat window as please type in chat window if you have any queries. Did you get it? If you get it, just type it on the same window such that everyone will be able to see that. Outsourcing in Hadoop, it's really good, Srinivas. Yeah, type it on that window such that everyone will be able to see. Yes, Hari, there is a framework that we can maintain. Maybe in the next, down the line, in the next classes, I will be discussing about those things like how the distribution happens in Hadoop, how each machine will talk to another and it will act as a single machine and all those things, okay? Qualification, it is just dedication. It's not qualification required. But I mean, preferably if you have any IT background, that will be good because uh, maybe it will take 1 week or 10 days in order to understand the SQL statements or maybe kind of pick scripts that we are going to write. I mean, it is easily English understandable language, but still, if you have any basic background, it will help you a lot. I don't say that uh, it will be difficult for you, but it will be helpful if you have some good background. Probably we might be having a class tomorrow, Srinivas, but it's better you check with Vamsi because even I don't have the details about that. Okay, I need to check with him because, yeah, sure. Any other questions, guys? Will also show us about how our, yes, Sunny, sure, definitely. We will be showing you how to install Hadoop on your system through the Apache Mirrors. We will be going through a document and I will share the document also with you so that you can follow those steps and you will be able to get Hadoop on your system. Because later on, once after this course is finished, you need to do not much of practice in order to get some good grip on this, right? So definitely you need to install Hadoop on your machine. No, C++ is not mandatory. We would be doing our MapReduce programs on Java, and Pig it has its own language. Hive again it has own HiveQL queries and so on. Yes, Smita, programming languages in the sense a basic understanding of core Java will be helpful in order to write MapReduce programs. But for other ecosystems, you don't even need Java. So tomorrow, not tomorrow, maybe in our next class, I will be talking about the ecosystems that were available in the market and also the distributions. Duration of the course, it will be around uh, 30 to 35 hours. Java is based on C++. Yes. I mean, those C++ is the heart of Java, but when it comes to Java, we will have uh, much more concepts evolved. So even though Java is object-oriented language, here we will have the implementation or the APIs in different ways when compared to C++. At the heart, the concepts are same. Terminology of big data. Okay, very good. One second. So tell me one thing. Now you will be answering this question, okay? Not me. What is the relationship between these two things? What is a car and what is a BMW? Yes. So car is a brand. Okay, okay. Okay, got it. So here the car is the domain. If you try to understand in IT terminology, car is the domain and BMW is a product. So BMW or Mercedes, it is a product of a domain car, right? In the same way, what is the relationship between these two things? RDBMS and Oracle or MySQL. So RDBMS is a domain and Oracle is a product of RDBMS. In the same way, Big Data is a domain and Hadoop is a product of Big Data. Okay? So if you talk in terms of programming languages, there is Java, there is .NET or maybe C++. So programming language is a domain, whereas your Java, .NET, C++ are products of your programming language. We have SAP++, HANA. If you have heard about this SAP HANA, even it is used for analysis also. Hadoop is a product of big data. That's what I'm mentioning here. So, okay. Oh, no problem. Welcome. So guys, 5 more minutes left over for today's session. So come up with your questions. What is the Hadoop software version? We have multiple versions available for Hadoop, okay? So, but the one which we are going to install is Hadoop 1.0.3. So we would be installing Hadoop on our Linux machines. So I hope everybody might be having Windows as their operating system, but Hadoop basically works, or it is developed keeping Linux in mind. So that's the reason we would be installing VMware, and on top of it we will be having Ubuntu installed on our machine such that we can install on it. Guys, don't ask repeated questions, because maybe few other might be having different questions in their mind, and they might be running out of time. Okay. So okay. Any other questions, guys? So tomorrow we will be discussing about the distributions that were available and the ecosystem and how each ecosystem is developed, some history of those ecosystems and all those things also. Okay. So Sarada, what do you mean by service providers? You mean that with different technologies or anything else? Okay, as I told you, there are many technologies such as RDBMS where it has some limitations in holding that data. But when it comes to Hadoop, it can hold huge amount of data, and that's where we call it Hadoop as a product of big data. Even we have SAP HANA and few other things in the market, but uh, in order to perform some OLAP kind of transactions, Hadoop will give you much more advantages because the basic key in Hadoop is distribution. Whereas in SAP HANA and few other things, you don't have these distributions available in Hadoop. If I say distribution, it's not about the varieties of distributions available in Hadoop. It's not that one. Sharing the information between multiple machines. That's what I meant to say about distribution. So I hope you have heard about this parallel processings and all those things. So all those were inbuilt in Hadoop. So don't worry about that thing. In my next 1 or 2 sessions, I would be covering all those concepts. So it is just an introduction session and demo session kind of. So we have just talked about the high level concepts of Hadoop, and we just tried to learn what are few characteristics of big data, what is that about, and few major differences between our traditional databases to Hadoop. So going on, we can do a deep dive on all these things. Okay, fine guys. Okay, the time is up. Thank you all for joining today's session. I hope Vamsi would be providing you with the details such as when is the next session is going to be conducted and the timings of those things as well. So please get in touch with him for any other kind of queries. Okay. Fine guys. Have a good night and good day everyone. Thank you. Thank you all for joining.